Flynn! Listen as it echoes through the cacophonous halls. Oh my God! I've never felt so large and in charge, except when I was maybe 16 and had my first erection. Oh, that's late. Maybe it was 11 and I didn't know. Who knows? Is this 18 and over? I didn't ask. It's not? He says it is, he says it's not. All right. What's that?
So I know what it is, not 18.
He says it's not 18. So anyway, I'm not going to curse. But if you're smart, you'll get my jokes. Anyway, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for your lovely applause. It's lovely to be here in Sacramento. A show of hands or applause. Any locals? I love it. It's kind of yeah. Captain America, born in Sacramento. Who knew? The state capital. I love it. I looked at the Capitol today. When I was inside my hotel room, there was a woman on the television telling me all about Sacramento and showing me the Capitol. It's just like the Capitol in Washington, except it's cleaner. And it's closer. It really is. Well, both inside and out. And the history is fantastic. So this is a Q&A, which means question and answer. You provide the questions, I provide the answers. But I'm kind of a improvisational guy, and I go all over the board. Anything goes as far as I'm concerned. So ask whatever you like. I'm the man behind all the characters you know and love, and maybe some you don't. And so I might even make some up as we go along. And I know Ashley is grooming some of the crowd for questions. Are they ready? Well, look at this. We have a microphone here, and they're going to come talk to me at that mic. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Are you excited that I'm here? I'm excited that you're here.
Hello, Quinton.
Hello.
I have a question for you. So since Lee got a Keyblade already, and he's training, so what do you think Lee's going to do with his other weapons?
What will Lee's training with the Keyblade.
Keyblade. What he's going to do with his other weapons?
What's he going to do with his other weapons? I don't know. What's he going to do?
I'm sorry?
I don't know. What is he going to do?
I'm asking you.
Oh, but I'm asking you.
I don't know.
See, you got me there. I don't know either. I actually don't know. That's the truth. It's still in production, and so I have yet to record those sequences and segments, and the producers of the show, they never let the actors know what's going on. And once we get into record, we're only privy to what we're doing, and we're not allowed to see the whole story. So even if I could figure it out, I might not really know.
Not even a guess?
No, I don't. I don't have a guess. You probably would know better than I. So do you have a guess?
I think he will probably keep it, I guess.
I would think so.
And, in case if he lost a Keyblade or something.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, why not? I've already got it.
All right.
It's kind of like I'm wearing glasses, but I think I have another pair in my pocket. And I'm not getting rid of them, am I? No. I'm hanging on to these glasses. Because they're Kevin's. I stole them. All right, give it up for Kevin and his glasses. I'm a magician. Anyway.
Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Thanks. I know you guys think I know, but I really don't know. And then they make us sign a non-disclosure agreement, which means even if I did know, I couldn't tell you, or they'd fire me. Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, I don't know how many people here know this, but you were the voice of Sheldon on My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Yes, I was Sheldon
Yeah.
on My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I was also Silver Shell.
Oh, that I didn't know.
And Don Prima, the prima donna.
Yeah. My question is, because Eartha Kitt was also on that show.
Who?
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, did you get a chance to meet her or record with her? And if so, what was she like?
We made love once, and she was gentle and kind. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You said Eartha Kitt. I thought you said Eartha Quilt. No, that's someone else. Very close, very similar. No, we didn't get to work together. I wish we had. We worked together separately. How's that? Yeah. We worked together apart. They had her in separately from the rest of the cast. I understand she was brilliant. I would like to say I worked with her, and I did as far as the series goes, but not in the same room at the same time. She, of course, was one of the original cat women, or Catwoman, back in the 1960s Batman TV series, along with Lee Merriweather and Julie Newmar for 20 points. So yes, excellent question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, give it up. Anybody who's brave enough to walk up to the microphone deserves a hand. A very young George Lucas or Tom Selleck. Magnum PI. Okay.
All right. I've been following Kingdom Hearts narratives from like the first game, and it's very promising and it's got a large fan base, but I think that it also has complications as it went along. How do you feel that the progression of the narratives in Kingdom Hearts matches or doesn't match the progression of video game narratives and the way that those have evolved in general?
Are you a professor at university? Because that is a really in-depth question. Does anybody else follow him? Because I didn't. A little bit? Anybody have an answer to that they want to come up? Because I don't have a clue. What do you think?
Because Nomura is gone.
What's that?
Because Nomura is gone.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
I can't.
I'll answer your question as Cone from Bleach.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a clue. I mean, you should really be watching my show where I'm in love with Rukia.
All right.
I honestly don't know. What do you think, honestly?
I feel like it's sort of insulated from the other advancements that have been made, and in many ways, Japanese game design and narrative design is more conservative in comparison to the Western markets, and there hasn't been the same sort of upward movement and that same sort of cultural movement to increase gaming narrative right now as in Japan as there has been in the United States.
You get an A+. Thank you. Give it up for this guy. Huh? Come on. Come on. Seriously. I mean, tops in the class. I don't have a clue. That was brilliant. And I'm not kidding. That was brilliant. I hope you heard it. Brilliant. All right. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Oh,
Hi. Yes.
how did you come up with a voice for Raiden?
How did I come up with the voice for Raiden?
Yeah, Metal Gear Raiden.
Well, Raiden, there's Metal Gear Solid 2 Raiden, there's Metal Gear Solid 4 Raiden, and then there's Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Raiden.
I prefer 2. He sounds more like a nerd there.
2, he sounds more like a nerd.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Actually, when I auditioned for the role of Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2, thank you. The director and casting director for that was a woman named Chris Zimmerman, or Chris Zimmerman Salter. And she directed me in season 2 of Jonny Quest, The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest. Come on, Dad, we gotta go find Bandit. Haji? Dad? And I was Johnny. So I came in to audition for this heretofore unknown character and game series. It was very new as far as, people went. Well, people and me. And she said, I want him to be a rookie. I don't want him to be as young sounding as Johnny. Johnny being in here, I want him to be more where you are, Quinton, which is more in here. But I had to keep him out of here.
Right.
Although that is where he went later to Raiden and then Jack the Ripper. So, but yeah, that was a development. He started out not here, but right here. He had to be the rookie. He had to be earnest. Come on, Snake. Let's go. Some liked me, some didn't. And you think I'm a nerd. That's okay, as long as you think of me. So that's how it developed. It was a give and take.
Right.
And then they went, you're the guy. And then I came in and we started this journey together and never knowing it would transform into what it's become. How's that?
That sounds good to me.
That sounds good to me too. Thank you. A question I could actually answer. All right. It's called Stump Flynn. My new name, Stump Flynn. Hey, man.
God, I feel like I'm on trial.
You are. Guilty.
Your Honor, speaking of MGS2, Jack, do you remember what day tomorrow is?
I should.
Just kidding. That's
Wait,
a fake
come on,
question.
Rose.
I only get one, right? So I want to make
No,
this good.
take another one.
So this question's about Henry from No More Heroes.
Henry, Sir Henry Cooldown, right? That's right, he's from Dublin. And the people in Ireland told me I did a grand job on his voice.
That's not bad. That's not bad. My question was actually, what sort of training or research did you do, or when you went into that role, or did you just jump into it?
You mean for the dialect? Or
Right. Yeah, the Irish accent that you did.
Well, I actually, my dad was Irish, American.
I'm kidding.
Well, he was actually. Well, he did pass. So yeah.
I'm so sorry.
How about that? I can laugh because it's my own death humor, gallows humor we call it. He's dead. Thank you. Anyway, he got it though. That was good, right? I know you guys are like, no, it's terrible. It's been 14 years. I'm over it. Although sometimes I cry in the middle of the night and I'm hiding in a fetal position. I'm thinking about you and your hat.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
No,
It's a good hat. I like it.
Thank you. Wow.
If you weren't sweating, I would take it and wear it. Anyway, Superman is on his chest. Up, and away!
This has nothing to do with Ireland, by the way.
Nothing to do with Ireland. Everything to do with Ireland.
Oh,
because
right.
my dad's parents came over from Ireland, and our aunts and uncles and cousins would go back and forth, and I was over in Dublin visiting cousins, and I've always been adept at picking up voices, and I've been doing them since I was 8 years old. Voices, not my cousins. And with that, I knew exactly where I was going with the Irish dialogue and dialect because they asked me to do it in a particular region. So I actually kind of made it a combination of a bartender I knew from Ireland's 32 in the North Valley of California who was from Dublin. His name was Alan. He talked like this and he'd be like, "How are you, lads? Good to see you. Oh, I like your shirt. What do you want to drink? Black and tan? Half and half? What do you want? All right, great. Come on. Next." And then I had a cousin from Dublin. His name's Sean Ruan. His tight talk like this. "Oh, I like your jumper. Oh, I like your jacket. Very nice. Okay.
Oh, and the thing is, I've got a problem hearing, so I talk very loud with my teeth like this.
And if you put them together, you get Sir Henry Cooldown. Or Sir Henry MFer, as some people know. But I'm trying to keep it clean. So thanks for the question. What's your name?
I'm James.
Give it up for James. I like it. This guy's going places. Ladies, he might be single. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
This is Metal Gear related, so
Okay.
it's been a while since you were introduced. It's been a while since you were introduced, and your last game was Vengeance, right?
Correct.
So, seeing how long it's been, and the studio's been like real quiet with any upcoming news or productions.
Thanks for bringing the room down. Go on.
I've just been wondering if they reached out to you for any upcoming.
They haven't, and my guess is probably for the reason many of you know, Kojima and Konami had a falling out. Now, that said, when we were doing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, at the time, they said we were going to do a sequel within 2 years, which, as you know, didn't happen. Why that didn't happen, I don't know. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Would I like it to happen? Absolutely. But what does your shirt say? I can't read. Apparently they can read it.
I'd rather, off the mic.
Maybe you can write it down and just tell me.
Yes.
What's your name?
Mark.
Mark. Give it up for Mark. And the shirt that he cannot say what it means. And in case any of you didn't know, that's my name, if you can read it. They wanted to make sure they put it up here. Now, they put it this way, apparently not for me. On the back, it's blank. So I don't know who I am. Okay. Hey, man. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Adrian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adrian. Yes. You're getting an applause just for your name. I like that.
Thank you. I heard you voice Jin in League of Legends.
I did, and I do. Do you find that creepy?
I think it suits you very well.
Oh, thank you. It does suit me well. So does that suit. Maybe I'll wear it as a skin. A second skin. Wink. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
I wanted to ask you about the dynamic of working on a big MOBA like League of Legends versus a game like Kingdom Hearts or even anime like Bleach.
Wait, did you hear that? Or is it just me losing my mind? They're cheering. Quinton, no one's saying anything. Okay, it's just the voices in my head. Anyway, well, the difference between those two, it's really what happens on the other side once it's released. And the fact that Jin has done so well in that franchise, and I have found like he has grown in popularity. The memes I see, the fan cosplay. I was just in London, and a gal from Germany named Luca came out, was dressed as Jin, head to toe, and we met. She came with a friend and did not speak at all. And I was introduced, and I said, well, it's going to be nice, later on, of course, when you take off the mask and I can see you and we can say hello. And she just shook her head. I went, no, seriously, you're not. And her friend said, no, she's not going to talk, and no, you won't see her. So she was really, really dead serious. And so what's kind of amazing to me is that, and she and another cosplayer, and granted, there are only two that I have witnessed on Instagram, have gone to great lengths to create wonderful costumes and do photo shoots and really, and also use it in artwork. So it's kind of gone above and beyond in the fan sense of creativity. So that's the difference I have found with this particular character and game, as opposed to all the others. There's something about Jin that is really inspiring people and bringing out something in their creativity, and I don't know, their individual wishes and desires that goes far beyond whatever I could have imagined. And for me, it's actually the most thrilling opportunity I had in terms of creating a character, because he was a distillation of 4 different villains, and then I had to make him my own. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, that was perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking me the question. And hang, come up here and hang. I just want to finish and round it out so you know, because I kind of left you hanging with, I like that. This guy's cool, man. Dig it. Give him a hand. You guys take pictures of this guy, for crying out loud. He knows how to strike multiple poses. Screw Madonna. Oh, I did. Anyway. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I don't know her. Anyway, so before your question, so the 4, what they did is, when they wanted me to audition for Jin, they sent me 4 video clips. One was Anthony Perkins in the movie Psycho. One was Kevin Spacey in the movie Seven. One was Michael C. Hall in Dexter. And the other one was the Bond villain from Skyfall. And they said, watch all of these, then incorporate them and make it your own. So that's what I created. You're welcome. And now you, my friend, what's your name?
They call me El Dante. The L is optional.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Thanks, I'm here all weekend.
How you doing?
Okay, so about the various voices you do.
Yes.
Like from the most craziest voices to the most serious voices. In your career, what do you feel like you have the most fun doing?
Most fun doing? It depends on what I'm doing at the time, but like I was just talking about Jin, I invested so much into that character. That I loved because I felt like I had a bit more control over it, because I did create him. Anyway, I like doing that, but I also like doing a character like Raiden or Axel or Reno, because as I'm speaking right now, I know there are a number of people going, you sound just like him. That's because this is the foundation for my voice. So oddly enough, over the years, the more work I've done as an actor, the further I've gotten away from the character stuff and the closer I've gotten into my bass voice. And that kind of truth just rings out, and it's easier and harder in a way because I'm not putting on anyone, I'm being me. But what I prefer, as I said before, still is Jin, because I like playing a villain, because a villain doesn't know he's a villain. And you know that. Mm-hmm. And that's the fun. I've had people say how creepy he is or frightening. And I go, really? I think he's just a lover. And he's misunderstood. Yeah, so him and Sir Henry Cooldown from No More Heroes. because of my Irish heritage. And for crying out loud, it's nice to do an Irish accent. It doesn't happen very often, does it?
No.
No. We're constantly hearing, the British accents. And of course, I love doing the Beatles. I always do at every convention. Hey, Sir Paul, on tour forever. Woo! This guy's great, isn't he? Give it up for him. Come on. Master Blaster. He's going to have a new album out. Look at him. He's going up the catwalk, baby. Hello.
Hello. My question is, have you actually played any of the Kingdom Hearts games that you're in, and which one is your favorite and why?
No. I don't know. No, I haven't. I haven't. I've watched the playthroughs.
In that case, what are you looking forward to for Lee in the next game?
A lot of lines. A big part. Interestingly enough, I was watching, I wish I could remember this guy's name to give him credit, but there's a YouTuber who did a whole history of Kingdom Hearts, and Axel and Lee in particular. I see Sam is nodding his head. He must have seen it. And it was fascinating because he was talking about the whole history, and then he gave his insight as to what he thought might happen in this third installment. And I liked what he was talking about. He was talking about the possibility of battle being done with Isa. And I thought, that would be amazing. It'd kind of be like, Luke, I am your father. That kind of thing. It's like, come on, the good force, the bad force. It would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's my hope.
Okay.
What do you hope?
I hope he gets to do something cool and fight for the good guys this time, all the way.
Yes, I'm with you. So let the force be with you. And also with you. Yes, come, please.
Hello.
Hello.
My question is, are there any particular rituals you go through before you voice a character in order to get into that character?
What process do I go through?
Like any sort of do you say any particular lines to try and get into that character before you start voicing a new line?
Sometimes I do. It depends on the character. And oddly enough, and I was talking about this before, the ones that are more like me are more difficult because there are subtle shifts in their voices, maybe accents or attitudes. So they'll have to play it back for me in the studio if I haven't done the character in a couple of years. And I'll listen to it, and then I'll try to find a hook. I'll give you an example. Tell me your name and your birth date.
Jennifer, birthday.
Jennifer, birth date is... So that's how I heard, like the rhythm and the musicality. Jennifer. So, right? Because that's what she did.
Yeah.
Now, granted, my mimicry's not perfect, but if I'm listening back to that, and they're like, that's you, I'm like, Jennifer, December 19th. Jennifer, December 19th. SacAnime, Quinton Flynn. Wearing black, boots and knee socks, buttons and bows, really cool hair, very nice smile. So that's what I do. I kind of get into it that way, and then it kind of becomes part of me. So you guys probably saw it. I wasn't thinking it, but as I was doing it, wasn't I doing something physically? Right? So somehow I'm becoming this character, and that's not what you were doing, because you just stood there and said it. But for me to get into it, I have to get physical. And no, I'm not going to sing that song, although I'm tempted to. And that's what I do to get into it. Sometimes these characters live within me, as you guys just witnessed when I did Timon, to Sheldon, to Cone, to Sir Henry, and they just, they're there in my hip pocket. I just kind of throw them out. So yeah, that's part of my process. A catchphrase gets me into it, usually. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
What's your name?
Jennifer.
Give it up for Jennifer. Our next guest. You guys, your questions are great. Thank you. You guys having a good time? Woo! Me too. I'm sweating. Anybody else?
A little bit.
Awesome. We'll sweat together. Hey. Me too. I got deodorant. No, it's good. It's good. Oh, it smells good. It smells good. It smells good. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jason.
Hi, Jason.
And the question I have for you is, what was the process it took for you to land the job voicing Axel, and how did it compare to the first voice acting job you've ever gotten?
Oh, how did I get the job voicing Axel? Very similar to my audition for Raiden. In fact, I think it was the same. Was it the same casting director? I'm not sure if it was or not. May not have been. But similarly, I went in to audition for this character. I had a breakdown, and a breakdown is information. You know, there's a picture of the character, and they give you kind of the age, the background, the attitude, and I kind of put that on and give it to them, and then they directed me in the way in which they wanted it, and we found a compromise somewhere in between, and I happened to be the guy that they wanted for that role. How did that differ from one of my first jobs in voiceover? In animation, you mean? Like a character?
Yeah, the first characters you've ever voiced.
Well, it differed in that, and I kind of touched on this before, because it was closer to my own natural voice, I found that I had less to do, and it was harder to do less. In my earlier days, I was constantly doing impressions and characters and dialects and really trying to like mold and create voices and characters that sounded nothing like me. And that's where I started out. I started doing impressions when I was 8 years old. And so that's what I would do. I would do impressions of impressionists' impressions. I would listen to you or look at you, and like my mind just records facial movements, body movements, voice, and I just take that on and spit it out. And actually, the way I learn best by watching things visually, in person, video, or listening to things orally, A-U-R, orally, not O. And, you know, if I can hear it or if I can see it, it registers better. Sometimes when I'm reading, I have trouble taking it in. I might read a paragraph 3 or 4 times in a row and go, oh. I remember in school, and this is completely a side note, but just for anybody who might relate to this, I had trouble getting through books, and I had a friend who would meet me in study hall before school started to tell me the contents of a book for an English class in which we would have to write an essay. And then I would go in, and I could write an essay based on the story as told to me, because I just couldn't get through the book. So that's part of my process. Some might call it ADHD. Hey, who knows?
No worries, I had a hard time getting through books when I was younger too. I didn't pick up my first one until 5th grade, and that was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Chronicles of Narnia.
That's a beautiful book. So you know what I'm saying, right? It's like this. You're like going, and then I got to get the thing, and where am I? Oh! What's the title of this book? Yeah.
I still can't get through history books or anything like that. Like textbooks, I have to literally watch videos on it.
Yes.
In order to be able to write about it for essays and stuff.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I can't. They put me to sleep.
I'm with you. Thank God for technology and pictures.
Yes.
What's your name?
Jason.
Jason, I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
Awesome. Give him a hand. That was a little bit of me revealing me.
Hello.
That's being vulnerable. That way, if you're vulnerable with others, it lets them in. Sometimes people like it, other times people are afraid of it. Don't be afraid. Go where the love is. Hi.
Hello. My question for you is, all the Digimon from the genre, do you have a personal favorite?
Of Digimon?
Yeah, the whole genre.
Well, it would be Digimon Data Squad, in which I appeared as Marcus Damon.
Yeah.
That's the only one that matters to me.
Okay.
Because I'm selfish. I am very selfish.
All right. I like all of them. I think Gatomon is like really, really cool.
Agumon?
Gatomon, the kitty
yes.
one. But I think the whole genre of Digimon is really, really cool.
They are. In fact, it's funny you mention that, because Derek Stephen Prince, who's here today, he was in a couple of the Digimon installments.
Oh, very cool.
So if you get a chance to see Derek, did you see him? He's a wonderful guy. He actually asked me which one I was in, and I said, Digimon Data Squad. He said, which one is that? I go, I think it was the 11th 12th, 40th, I don't know. I go, there's a fan out there who knows. I don't. It had no number, so I assume it's a very late one.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank
My
you.
name is Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Yeah.
Give her a hand. Captain America. It was, what is it? It was the 4th installment? All right, so not so bad. I thought it was 11th or the 42nd. It was the 4th installment. Yes, Captain.
I got a question about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Are you reprising your roles as Reno in there, like in the DLC or something?
He's asking if I'm going to reprise my role as Reno in Final Fantasy Advent Children.
No, I meant the remake, dude.
I mean the remake, dude. Yeah, I want to. I want to so bad. I actually contacted my agent a couple times about that, and I said, please look into it for me. And apparently they didn't look hard enough, so I'm going to have to call them again. So Final Fantasy VII, correct?
Yeah, the remake of it?
Yeah, the remake of it. Is there a release date on it yet?
No, it's come out later than Formation about.
2035, I hope I'm alive. If not, you have my blessings to take over for me. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to reprise the role. I would like to think that they would think of me. And yes, I want to do it. But I've not been contacted, no.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Okay.
Don't throw your sword at me. I mean your shield. Okay, Captain?
Okay.
Give it up for Captain America! Hello.
You've done voice acting for several different types of mediums, such as anime, video games, and Western animation.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, what makes voice acting for these different types of work different and unique from each
Hold on, I couldn't hear you over the roar of the crowd for the animals that they just killed next door. What was that again?
So you voice acted for anime, video games, and Western animation, and I wanted to know what makes voice acting for these different types of works different and unique from each other.
What makes them different?
Yes.
The different styles, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, he actually said it the best. I've never been able to say it quite like this before, but in my body of work as a voice actor, I have done voice acting for Western animation, which would be original for us in the English language, anime, which is animation in Japanese, they call it anime, but we dub it in English here. And then there's the video game voice acting, which sometimes we do in an ensemble, sometimes we do it individually. Of course, dubbing I have to do by myself to a video screen because I have to sync it up musically in my head with the beeps, and I have to act at the same time. Then when it comes to original animation, they animate to us, the same with video games. Sometimes they have a light on my head when I am video being recorded for video game stuff like that. There's facial capture, sometimes there's motion capture, where they put me in a black bodysuit and then I have balls all over my body, everywhere except where I have them. And then I'm actually doing commercial voiceover acting, which could be just for radio, or it could be the internet, or it could be TV, and it's just my voice. There might be promo saying, coming up next tonight, there's a guy in a black hat who's running around wearing a Superman t-shirt tonight at 7. Then, sometimes there's narration where I might say, in a world where children cry. That's not narration. That's actually a trailer for a movie. You're right, but they wouldn't let me do that. So, okay, for narrating for a series like I'd Kill For You, which I did do, I might say, January 27th, 1917, a man found his way into a marketplace. That's where he met a girl he would fall in love with. On the next, I'd Kill For You. What are the differences? I don't know. No. It's all acting. It's all acting. It's all acting. It's all acting. It's just the mediums are different. And because I just gave you guys a real quick rundown of what that's like, you can imagine me in these different booths doing it different ways. Different direction. The microphone is still the same. I'm still the same person. It's different genres, and there's different methods and means for me to give them what they need and work with them. Different styles. Commercial might be real act or regular conversational voice like this guy right here, or it might be a character like this that I've done before. And then for the narration, I gave you an idea of that. Promos, that's heightened. And then trailers, it's more, I don't know, there's a bit more gravity to it if it's a drama or action, or lightness of being if it's a comedy. So there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, give it up for the angel Gabriel. If you see him flying later, you'll know why. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Cannon.
What is it?
Cannon.
Cameron?
Right
on.
Like the artillery.
Cannon. Artillery. Camera.
Sorry. I was wondering, what was it like, due to the fact that you seem to be like a method actor, what it was like getting into the character for Jin?
So you said I seem like a method actor, yes? And what was it like getting into Jin? Well, the good news is I didn't kill anyone. The bad news is I didn't kill anyone. Well, as far as getting into it goes and being a method actor, there is something to that. I actually think I had everything I needed to know about acting from the time I was very young, and I worked with a really good director when I was working with him back in high school. And that preceded my college years, and then also going to an acting school when I moved to Los Angeles, which kind of taught me the ways of method acting. That said, I think I took some of what I learned there and applied it, but really getting into it and living it, owning it, and becoming that character is what gave me Jin. As I said, I blended, Anthony Perkins from Psycho. What do you mean? What's wrong with my mother? You take him, and then you take Kevin Spacey from the movie Seven, who slows things down. And he stares at you, doesn't he? Then you have this Skyfall Bond villain, who's what you say. I think you don't know what you're doing, Mr. Bond, do you? And then you have Dexter, who's more serious. And if you put them all together, suddenly you have this big soup, and you go, I don't know exactly what it is I want to do, but I think I know what I want to do. And they want me to drop it down in register. And then Quinton decides to add some musicality to it. I find love in death. I find art in death. Apparently, their conversation is more important than what I'm saying on stage right here. I don't know if that's true or not. Then again, I don't know if they're going to leave here alive. But there's a lot of things I don't know. Aren't there? Yes, Cannon. Thank you for your question. I will let you live. Give him a hand. 10 minutes, okay.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
My question is, between Reno and Axel, which one is actually your favorite?
Well, let me ask you, which one's your favorite?
It's a toss. It depends on the mood, really. Like, some days it's Reno because, Reno. And Axel because, he doesn't like a Spitfire like Reno, or Axel.
It's what?
A Spitfire like Axel.
Okay. I like it. What's the one nickname for Axel? I had kind of forgotten about it. Something Locks.
Flamesy Locks.
Say it again?
Flamesy Locks.
Flamesy Locks. Did you know that? Yeah.
Got it memorized?
Now I have it memorized. I did it before. But Flamesy Locks, which is kind of a cool nickname. I like them both for different reasons. I think if you've gotten a sense of my humor and my comedy, Reno is a little bit more like me, that way. But then when I'm being more real and vulnerable and serious, Quinton, then Axel kind of comes through. But I enjoy them both, and because I tend to lean more toward humor and sarcasm, I like the edge of Reno. I also like the fact that he and Rude are really trying to kick ass. They're trying to be like heroes, and they kind of fall short. They're comic relief.
Yeah, that hero duo that tends to fall short and needs someone to lean in to bail him out.
Yeah, so it's endearing in that way. I'd love for them to come back and do more. The same way Axel and Lee has, come together, separated, grown apart. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm with you. Thank you. Give her a hand. Yeah. It depends on the day. I think we got 2 more questions here. And here's what's going on, folks, just so you know. After this, I'm going to be doing a signing in the autograph room. I don't know what it's called. What do you call the room?
Autograph panel?
It's an autograph panel. The word VIP's in front of it. I don't know what that means, but you go on down there and we're doing signings and pictures and I'll be there for an hour and I'd love to see you. Okay, last question. What's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley?
Yeah.
There was the woman here before named Ashley. That's crazy.
And there's also me.
And you, there's 3 Ashleys. Thrashley. 4 Ashleys. Foshley. Fashley.
Fourthly.
Porsley. Fortunately! Hi, what's your question, Ashley?
My question is, do you have a memorable audition or line that really hit you personally?
A memorable audition,
Or a line that really hit you personally?
a line that hit me personally. I have a couple memorable auditions because they were so weird. Yeah, one time I was auditioning for a TV series way back in the day, and I didn't know anything about auditioning for a TV show, which all they do is they give you a script and you can sit down opposite someone and read it and talk back and forth. Well, I came from a theater background. Everything about theater is moving, right? Movement. So I walked into this room, they told us to go. Did anybody see the movie Spaceballs? Yeah. Okay, I figured you had. So you remember the princess was played by an actress, Daphne Zuniga, correct. So, back in the day, there was a sitcom that she was up for. It was a pilot. Unfortunately, it was never made. That's not my fault. And I wish it was, but it's not. That would be a great story. But here's the thing. I went in to read with her, and it was time to read, and I was looking at all the direction. And the direction was like, you know, you're down on your knee, you're on the floor, you're over here, there's a stable, there's the woman. And I'm like going crazy, moving my body all around. I'm on the floor. The casting director, the producer, the writers, they're at this big long table looking at me. She's sitting there, and at one point, you'll have to forgive me for not going down here so you can see me, but pretend. I go down to the floor, and I'm like holding on to her leg, and I'm looking up at her, trying to deliver my lines as I'm looking at my script.
Oh no.
And, yeah, and she's just sitting there like an actor would going, okay. And as I'm doing all of this, it's not until the end of it, and they're like, okay, thank you, that I kind of stood up, and everything just kind of went, oh God, I probably should have done that. That was awkward. Thank you. Yeah. So that was weird, and I'm looking forward to the day when I get to run into her and have a chat with her about that, just to see if she remembers. It was so weird. Then, this one's more kind of dear to the heart. There was a show on many years ago, I don't know if it was ever rerun, it was before most of your time, called Life Goes On.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Yes.
This man knows everything. I love this guy. And there was a character played by an actor named Chris Burke, who I believe suffered from Down syndrome, and his name was Corky. And when Chris talked, he talked like this. And he was in love with a girl named Becca. So I had done extra work on this. This is before my voiceover career started. I got to work around him, a guy named Brian Austin Green. No, not Brian Austin Green, sorry. He was on the Melrose Place, wasn't he? Good, you guys don't remember.
Step by step?
It wasn't Step by Step. There was another guy on Life Goes On who played Corky's brother. Anyway, never mind. Nice kid. So, one of my first roles, they wanted me to do the internal narrative or monologue for Chris Burke's character. The movie was originally called Who Speaks for Jonathan? Because apparently he wasn't unable to do it. So they had to find someone who could not only match his voice, but match the intention of the character in such a way where he talked about his childhood and what it was like growing up with or without his mom. So for me, that was one of the greatest challenges I had at the time, and probably one of the most intimate and vulnerable opportunities to act for and as another person in my career. And that was like back in, I want to say 1992. And so if you look at my IMDb credits, if you have any interest at all, you can research the movie. If you go all the way down to the bottom of my page, it will say, it'll give you the real title of the movie, and it will say, his voice uncredited. But that was it. Oh, one more. Anybody ever hear the show Romper Room? No? Yes. Oh, God. Okay, good. Romper Room was a children's show all across America, possibly in Canada. And it was a regional thing where kids used to go on, and they would play in front of the camera, and they played with bouncy balls, and they did, games, and they learned things, and Miss Barbara would come on at the end of the show, and she had this magic mirror that was clear, and what's your name? Ashley. That's right. Poor Ashley. She'd be like, I see Ashley, and I see Ashley, and I see Ashley. I see Robert, I see Sam, I see Michael, I see Quinton, I see Robert. And as she's saying this, and you're in TV land watching it, you're waiting for your voice. You're hoping to hear your voice. Well, I was 5 years old, and that was the requirement to get on the show. So I grew up in an eastern suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. My parents were kind enough to call the station. They brought me down, and in February of that year, I got to be on Romper Room 5 days in a row and got to be on TV. So it was my first experience, and I wasn't acting, I was just being. And the good news is about acting is just being. So just be yourself, you'll be acting all the time. I'm Quinton Flynn, I love you all, thank you, God bless.